Hi everybody, this is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy. Welcome to lesson number 109. In this lesson, we will introduce the student with the concept of how to add suffixes to our controlled syllables. Let's begin by setting up the table. You'll need your top 160 sight word list, and if your student has finished that list, then you can move on to the top 290 word list. You can find that list on the flyingcatacademy.com website by going to the guided lessons section. You'll find a subpage called Extra Resources. You'll need the teacher instruction sheet, the student's card pack, some blank index cards, a highlighter, markers, and some pencils. For the phonemic awareness drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheet and the colored tiles for the student. For the visual drill and auditory drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheets and the card pack for the student. You'll need to have the syllable card drill set out and ready to go on the table. You'll have the teacher instruction sheets for the magnetic letter tile drills for reading and spelling, as well as a cookie sheet with the letters spread in a rainbow shape. You'll need the syllable pounding instruction sheet, the new phoneme grapheme kinesthetic discovery sheet, and the sheets for the lesson. In addition, we'll have a board game to review ER, IR, and UR words, and we used this in a previous lesson. You'll also need a timer on the table, and you'll need this for the fluency element. You'll need to add a secondary program to do this, such as Read Naturally or the 6-minute reading solution. Let's begin with the sight word study method. Student, can you take out your sight word card pack? I would like you to read through all of the words in the card pack. After you read a word correctly, remember to put a check mark in the corner of the card. After you've finished reading all the cards, give the card pack to your teacher. And then it's your teacher's turn to read. Your teacher will read each word, and student, you will write the word down. After you write a word correctly, use this other corner of the card to put a check mark. After you're finished with the task, the teacher and you will have a quick discussion about which of those words has been mastered. Remove the mastered words from the card pack. This leaves space so that you can introduce a new sight word. Now let's move on to the phonemic awareness drill. Student, you'll need your colored tiles for this one. Can you take out a tile and call it and repeat that sound? Now take out a new tile and say f. Can you put the f tile on front of and now tap it and say your word. Did you say that your word is fur? If you did, that's right. For example, there was a fir tree in my yard. Okay, I would like you to take a new tile and call it s. Can you repeat that sound? Now put the tile on the end of fur. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you say furs? There was a stand of furs in my yard, a bunch of fir trees. Okay. And I would like you to take a new tile and call it t. Can you repeat that sound? Put the t at the end of your word. And what's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you say that this word is first? If you did, that's right. He came in first in the race. Now find the in first. Change the into an or. Now tap it and say it. Did you say that this word is forced? Okay, now I'd like you to find the s in forced. Take away the s, and what are you left with? Tap it and say it. Did you say fort? If you did, that's right. The kids like to play in the fort. Okay, you did a great job, and you can put these tiles away. Let's do the visual drill. What is the sound of this one? Did you say or? If you did, that's right. Teacher, do about 6 to 8 flashcards in this way. Now let's do the auditory drill. Your sound is R. Can you repeat that sound? Now how do you write R? What is the grapheme for R? Write it down and say the sound as you're writing, and then underline it and say the sound again. Did you say that AR is the way that we write R? If you did, that's right. Teacher, do about 6 to 8 flashcards in this way. Now it's time for the syllable card drill. And your teacher has this one cut out and ready to go on the table for you. You'll read down all the syllables in column number 1, and then all the syllables in column number 2. Then you'll read across the rows making nonsense words as you go. Finally, it's time to unscramble things. You will move around the syllables in column number 2 to make real words with column number 1 syllables. And as you're creating these real words, you can discuss the meanings of the words and put some of the words into sentences. Let's do some syllable pounding. Your word is summer. Can you repeat that word? In the summer, I like to go swimming. How many syllables do you hear in the word summer? Let's see. Summer. I hear 2. Okay, how about this one? Tour. How many syllables? Did you say 1? I just hear the R-controlled or in that one. Try this one. Actor. Can you repeat that word? There was an actor on the stage. How many syllables an actor? I hear 2 in that one. Okay, here's your last word. Doctor. How many syllables? Doctor. I hear 2 in that one. Okay, let's do some scooping of syllables. So you'll need your scooping syllables worksheet. And teacher, you can take out the answer sheet. And student, remember that it's a great idea to discuss your thinking as you're working through the words. Now we're going to play a board game to practice the different vowels that are R-controlled, saying so that's E-R, I-R, and U-R. You've played this board game before, so your teacher has it ready to go on the table for you. And just follow the rules of play. And your teacher, keep an eye on the time so you might not have time to finish the game. You want to make sure you're pacing yourself. Now let's move into the new content part of the lesson. As always, we'll start with what we know. So student, could you tap and say this word? Did you say B-R, bar? I lifted the bar. If you did, that's right. What type of syllable is bar? Did you say that it was an R-controlled syllable? If you did, that's right. And we know that the reason this is an R-controlled syllable is because we have one vowel followed by an R. And when that happens, the vowel doesn't make a long sound. It doesn't make a short sound. It makes a different sound, a different unexpected sound that's not long or short. So this is an R-controlled syllable type. If I had not taught you about R-controlled syllable types, what would you think this was? What type of syllable does it look like? Closed, open, vowel, consonant, silent T, vowel team, or vowel diphthong? It looks like a closed syllable, doesn't it? And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to add suffixes, so how to add endings to the R-controlled syllable type, and how that looks just like when we're working with closed syllables. Because remember that this is only a R-controlled syllable because of the way that this vowel is sounding. It doesn't fit the definition of a closed syllable, which is that we have one vowel and the vowel is short, and that happens when it's followed by one or more consonants. If I have this word bar, and I know it's close, it's a R-controlled syllable, and I want to add ing onto bar. Ing is a suffix that begins with a vowel. If I tell you I would like you to follow the exact same rules as you follow for the closed syllable, how would you do this? How would you spell barring? What's the great rule that comes in for closed syllables when we're adding a suffix that starts with a vowel? Well, that would be the 1-1-1 rule. Did you know? Did you tell your teacher that you will double the R? And that's exactly how it works. So now I'll give you another example. Here's your second one. Did you say that this word is farm? If you did, that's right. And I would like to add ing onto farm to make farm ing. So knowing that we're following the same rules, same spelling rules that come up in closed syllables, how would I do that? How do I spell it? Tell your teacher now. Well, in that case, we already have an R and an M at the end of the word. So when I apply the 1-1-1 rule, I realize no doubling is going to happen, and I spell it farming. Let's practice this new concept of adding suffixes to our control syllables by doing the magnetic letter tile drill for reading. So student, you're going to need your cookie sheet with your letters spread in a rainbow shape. Your sound is R. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. Can you say Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say ing? Now find the correct tiles and pull them to the middle. Once you have all the tiles there, tap and say the word. And apply any spelling rules that need to get applied. Did you say that this word is arming? He was arming himself. And did you spell it A-R-M-I-N-G? If you did, that's right. Okay, put your tiles away and get ready for a new word. Okay, can you say B? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say ul? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. And can you say ing? Find the correct tiles and pull them to the middle. Now tap it and say it. Think about any spelling rules that need to get applied and apply them. Did you say that this word was blurring? My vision was blurring. And did you spell it B-L-U-R-R-I-N-G? If you did, that's right. Teacher, if you have time, you can do more words in this way. And if not, then move on to the single word list, followed by the short story, and then the fluency element. Let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for spelling. Student, you're going to need your cookie sheet with your letters spread in a rainbow shape for this one. Your word is darkness. Can you repeat that word? I might say I turned off the light and I was in darkness. Okay. How many syllables do you hear in darkness? Let's see. Darkness. I hear 2. So let's spell the word syllable by syllable. What's the first sound that you hear in dark? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in dark? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. What's the last sound that you hear in dark? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Okay, now let's do syllable number 2. What's the first sound that you hear in ness? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in ness? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the last sound that you hear in ness? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. Now tap it and say it. Did you spell darkness D-A-R-K-N-E-S-S? If you did, that's right. Okay, put your tiles away and get ready for your second word. Your word is tarring. They were fixing the road by tarring it. Can you say that word, tarring? Okay, so I want you to think about how many syllables you're hearing in tarring. Okay, do you have it? And then I want you to think about spelling it syllable by syllable so that you're thinking about what is the base and what is the suffix. What's the first sound that you hear in tarring? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in tarring? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in tarring? Find the correct tiles and pull them to the middle. And apply any spelling rules that need to get applied. Then tap it and say it. Did you spell this word T-A-R-R-I-N-G? If you did, that's right. Okay, teacher, if there's time, you can do another word or two in this way. And if not, then student, grab your pencil and a lined piece of paper because we're going to write some single words. Your word is farming. Can you repeat that word? I might say he was farming in the field. Tap out the base, the sounds in the base, tap out the suffix, and then say the whole word and write it down. Okay, did you spell this one F-A-R-M-I-N-G? If you did, that's right. Try this one, barking. Can you repeat that word? I might say the dog was barking. Okay, tap out the sounds you hear in barking. Think about what's the base, what's the suffix. Then say the whole word and write them down. Did you spell this one B-A-R-K-I-N-G? If you did, that's right. And here's your last word, stirring. Can you repeat that word? I could say, I was stirring my tea. Okay, tap out, well, figure out how many syllables are in this word. Tap each one out and say the sounds. Say the whole word and write it down, stirring. Did you spell this one S-T-I-R-R-I-N-G? If you did, that's right. Okay, it's time to move on to sentences. So teacher, you can read out the 3 sentences and then have the student choose the 2 that will be written. Student, after you write a sentence, make sure that you check your work with chops. Let's do a quick review before you go. What is the sound of this one? Did you say R? If you did, that's right. How about this one? That one says or. And what about this one? What's the sound it makes? Did you say If you did, that's right. And today we were talking about how to add suffixes, how to add endings onto our controlled syllable types. And the spelling rules that we apply are the same spelling rules that we use for closed syllables. So if that's true, can you tap and say this word? So we have star, and I would like to add a Y onto star to form starry. How would I do it? Tell your teacher now. Well, if I want to spell starry, I would have to apply the 1-1-1 rule. And that means I would double it. Great job today. This is the end of 109. This is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy.